Tommy Tuberville is running for governor, a former Auburn coach who beat Alabama 6 times in a row, and I think it's fair to say he's going to win pretty comfortably, seems to be the assessment. There's an open Senate seat. Bruce Pearl, also at Auburn, had talked about it. He says now he's not going to run. Is that with the conversation, or are you somewhat interested and intrigued at the opportunity of looking into that Senate race? I'm assuming that's what they reached out to you to talk to you about.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for Yellowhammer. Now let's talk a little bit about the elephant in the room, and that is Paul Finebaum. He says he may be running for United States Senate. He is seriously considering doing so, and he is citing the assassination of Charlie Kirk as the reason.
What was it like for you to see what happened to Charlie Kirk and then go on the SEC network and talk about games, challenging real life things compared to, frankly, the fun things in life? How do you balance that?
I spent 4 hours numb, talking about things that didn't matter to me. And it kept building throughout that week. And I didn't know Charlie Kirk. I had never met him. So finally, I watched all the coverage, including you on Fox on Friday night. I was in Baton Rouge. And Saturday morning, I woke up and went over to get ready for our show. And I saw Tim Tebow. And I said, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" And after he finished eating, he came over. We went outside, and I asked him about Charlie Kirk, and he was very close to him. And he said, he looked at me and said, "Are you okay?" I said, it's hard to describe not being involved in politics, not being involved, how that affected me and affected tens of millions of people all over this country. And it was an awakening. And I went out and did the show that morning, but it still nagged at me. And I couldn't get through it. Tebow was soothing to me because he told me a little bit about his relationship with Charlie Kirk, but I felt very empty doing what I was doing that day. That affected me in a way that I never really expected to be affected by. It also was juxtaposed with something else that had happened a couple of days earlier. I had received a text from someone who I knew that I'd seen at an event, and it led to another conversation. And ultimately, one or two people in Washington had reached out to me about whether I would be interested in politics, something I'd never thought about before, something I didn't really think possible. I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina. I wasn't there wasn't a lane there to get involved, but and I gave some thought to it as this weekend unfolded with Charlie.
No, I would never tell Paul Finebaum he should not do something, and nor do I think that he would fail if he tried. I think he would put together a pretty successful United States Senate campaign because he is a very popular individual inside the state of Alabama, and he has name ID out the wazoo. But here is my question to him. Why don't you just do something with the platform you currently have? Who is more powerful inside the state of Alabama than Paul Finebaum? Paul Finebaum is, like I said, a wildly popular individual. What he says matters. And can he do more good inside the state of Alabama doing what he's doing right now? Or will he do more for the state of Alabama by going to the United States Senate? I'm not so sure the answer is going to the United States Senate. Look at Tommy Tuberville right now. The guy says that he hates it there. He can't get what he wants to get done. Paul Finebaum can change minds. And if the Charlie Kirk situation is what turned Paul Finebaum in this direction, why doesn't he use that turn to talk to his audience and maybe move some of them in his direction? Now, I don't know what Paul Finebaum believes about almost anything. He is saying he is a Republican. I have no idea. I have no idea how he's voted or what he believes. No clue. But I know this. When he said he was a Republican, a lot of people said, Paul Finebaum's a Republican because he hasn't really spoken on these issues in this way. Maybe he is, and I'm not suggesting he's being conniving or malicious or anything like this. All I'm suggesting is if he doesn't decide to run for the United States Senate, he should use the platform he has right now in order to move the world in the direction he wants the world to go. He's very, very powerful, and he should utilize that power for good if he truly feels this way. He doesn't have to do it from the United States Senate. He can do it from his microphone.